Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the Coding with T. Today we are going to learn how to create app bar in Flutter. Basically the app bar in the Flutter has three major portions. The first one is on the left side, which is the leading icon, or most of the time this icon has been used for the menu button. Then we have a text section, and mostly it contains the text of the or title of the application or title of the screen. And then the third section is the bunch of action buttons. It could be search button, add to cart button, or menu button. So it depends on the application. So without wasting time, let's get started. As you can see, we are in section 2 and we are about to create the sixth video of this section. If you didn't watch previous videos, I suggest you to please watch previous videos first. So let's get started with today's tutorial. Open Android Studio and we are inside the project we created in our previous tutorials, and in here I just created a body with the center and it has bunch of text. Let's run the application and you can see right on your screen we have just simple text with no app bar. Okay, let's go to scaffold to create the app bar. We know we have a app bar here. To create app bar we just have to call this app bar, and now inside we have a bunch of properties. To find the properties, press Ctrl space and we have list of properties that we can deal with. So let's first start with our major three portions. The first one is the leading icon or the leading property. When we hover over this, we can see that it requires a widget. So it could be any widget. It is not necessary to pass only icon here, but we will follow the norm. We are going to create icon here. We know how to create icons. I am just going to add menu icon. Then we are going to cover title, which is the center portion, and again when we hover over this title you can see it also requires a widget. So this means that it can contain anything but text. So for this tutorial I'm just passing text here. Then we have the third section, which is actions, and now inside the square brackets we have to pass three actions. It's not necessary to pass the three actions. You can pass 1, 2, 3. Even if you don't want to pass, then you don't have to create this actions as well. Our app bar still works. Let me save the code. You can see that we have primary by default app bar with a blue background, home and a menu icon. So we don't have any action button here. Okay, before going to add any actions, let me just convert this icon to icon button. As on the screen you can see, when I am going to click, it's not clickable. So to make icon clickable we have to create icon button. We already learned in our previous tutorial. And in the icon button we first have to pass icon, and we also have to pass on pressed, and in here we have to call icon, and inside our icon widget we will add icons.menu. Right, let's just copy this icon button, and in the action let me paste this icon button and press Ctrl D to duplicate. Change this to search icon. Let's save the code, and you can see that we have clickable search and a cart icon, and we can the same way create our third action button as well. Press Ctrl D to duplicate. Let's say it's a menu book. It could be any icon. So as you can see we have three action buttons. We have the leading icon and a home parameter. So this was for the very three basic portions. So now we are going to move towards the property of this app bar. First and foremost, you can see that we have elevation or a little shadow behind our app bar, so we can increase our shadow. Let's save it. You can see the shadow has been increased, and also we can remove the shadow by putting elevation to 0, and our shadow is gone. Now we can also add some space from the left side of this home or the title. So we have title spacing. Let's make it 20.0. Save the code, and you can see that it's moved a bit. Let's make it 40, and it shifted a lot. And also if we want to put our title in the center, so remove this and we have center title, make it true. Save the code, and we have our title in the center, but because we are using three action buttons and it's looking a bit ugly here, let's just comment it. Save the code, and now it's looking a bit appropriate. Okay, next to center title what if we want to change the background? So we have a background color property and we know how to add colors. It's colors dot, let's say I want to add purple here. Save the code and you can see that background of the application has been changed. Also we can go with the opacity, so purple dot with opacity, and let's pass 0.7. Save the code and you can see that opacity is there. Next to background color we can also add shape property, which is very important while creating app bar. So to add a shape, let's say we want to add rounded rectangle border. Inside this we have border radius, and to give it border radius dot vertical, as we want to give border to our bottom only. So you can see we have top, radius top here and radius bottom here, by default at 0. Let me give it bottom, it will be radius dot circular because we want to make it a circular, and let's say 20 radius maybe. Let's save and you can see that radius has been added. So after shape, what if we want our screen to cover behind the app bar, because screen starts below this app bar. So we now want this app bar to be a bit transparent and our screen should be covering the whole screen, also behind the app bar. So for that, go to scaffold and we have a property extend body behind app bar. We have to make it true. And now when we save the code, you can see the text has been jumped a bit higher because now it's covering the whole screen. After shape we have a property called flexible space, and this flexible space is the space behind the app bar which is going to add any widget. Hover over this flexible space and you can see it's currently containing a widget. So I am going to pass image here. We know how to create images or how to pass images, and it is network image, and you can see that we have image but it's not clearly visible. So inside this we have to paste fit property inside the image. Control Alt L to align the code and let's save it. You can see that image has been added but it's not clearly visible because it was already purple image. Sorry for that, but this is how we can add image behind our app bar. We can use shape, we can add colors, elevation. Also in here that one thing to be noted, that shape is not working when I have added this flexible space because it is going to cover the whole area behind the app bar, and that's how it is going to add image behind it. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you learned something new, and if you learned something new, please like the video, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe it because more amazing videos are coming on the way. This is just a Flutter basic crash course. I know basic crash course are boring. Most of the time people don't like to follow each and every video, so if you really want to learn something, please follow one series as I talked in my previous videos. So at the end of the series, any series, you will be able to create something that is valuable to the market. So again, thank you for watching. Take care. Allah Hafiz.